As she flew home, Dash reviewed the events of her visit to the Sugar Cube Corner. She had A. gotten into an argument about cotton candy houses, B. had some pretty good cupcakes, C. been turned temporarily insane, it seemed, by a kitchen sink, D. gotten a wing boner from said kitchen sink, E. caused hundreds of bits in property damage, and F. quite possibly gotten banned from the best bakery in town. Huh. It wasn't like it was her fault or anything. It was the stupid sink. It was like it had some spell over her. Whenever she had looked at it, her heart started beating faster. She began to sweat. It couldn't possibly be good for her health. She had only ever felt that way once before, at Junior Speedsters. Yet, despite all the trouble it had caused her, Rainbow just couldn't get it out of her mind. Every time she tried to forget, the sink just popped back into her mind.
Oh, Celestia. What if I'm cursed? I wonder if Sakura has some tea or something.
Suddenly, she stopped mid-flight.
Wait,
She said to the air.
what am I doing? I beat Nightmare Moon in Discord. I proved the sonic rainbow was real. And now I'm just gonna start running from a stupid sink? No! That thing can't get me down.
She flew high above the clouds, leaving a rainbow trail in her wake.
I'm Rainbow Dash.
She spread her arms wide, waiting for the inevitable crowd of cheering ponies. After a few seconds passed, and she realized that she was the only pony around, Rainbow smiled sheepishly and resumed flying.
I'm way too awesome to be worrying about this,
she said as she landed in her front lawn.
I'll just pay to fix up the wall, apologize to Mrs. Cake, and everything will turn out all right.
The sun was setting in the west, creating a beautiful view at her vantage point, but Rainbow found herself unable to appreciate it as a large yawn escaped her lips. It was the price to pay for spending a day with Pinkie Pie. With a flap of her wings, Rainbow brought herself up to her bedroom. Tink sat in the corner on his enchanted bed. Her eyes felt like weights. She hovered over to her own bed, laid down, and got some well-deserved rest. It was dark. That was the first thing she noticed. It took a few moments for her eyes to adjust, but once they did, she realized what the wet feeling around her legs was. The ground was flooded with deep blue water. She was in some sort of maze. She began to walk forward, ignoring the pain of the cold water against her skin. She had no idea where to go. Every turn seemed to lead to another turn, or a dead end. At points, she could have sworn she heard some pony, or something, moving with her. After a few minutes of useless waiting, she began to panic. Where was she? Why was this happening? Barely containing the urge to scream, she rounded another corner. That was when she saw him. Sitting in the middle of the water was Sink. He glanced at her lovingly. She knew that he was the key. He would make everything go away. He would make everything perfect. She cantered toward him, her heart beating faster with every step. He radiated sunlight, his warmth replacing the water's chill. She grabbed his wide basin and pulled him closer.
Oh, Sink.
His drain curled into a smile.
Oh, Rainbow Dash.
Ah! Rainbow Dash shot up in her bed, eyes wild.
Oh, Celestia. Oh, Celestia. Oh, Celestia. What was that? What did I just dream?
Her mind raced. Suddenly, it all came back to her. She had had that dream before, years ago at Junior Speedsters. Except, back then, it was about a colt she had a crush on. It hit her like a ton of bricks. Her queasy stomach, her fluttering heart, wanting to look nice. She did all of these things for the colt, too. She was in love. She was in love with a kitchen sink. Down in Ponyville, the village was just waking up. The sun's rays erupted through town, coating everything in its light. At the same time, another thing erupted. A mysterious, high-pitched scream of despair coming from the sky. Every pony who was already outside looked at each other in confusion. A few dogs barked, birds scattered in droves. All three of the Flower Sisters fainted simultaneously.
No, 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 this can't be happening. I can't be in love, especially not with a sink.
Rainbow flitted around her house, suppressing the urge to just break down and start screaming again.
I've never been in a relationship before. How does it even work?
She began to think about all the relationships she had seen throughout her life. Usually they started with a date, then came kissing, and then they would do things, and then was marriage. She couldn't think of any restaurant that was likely to allow her to bring a sink in as her date.
Well, maybe that one place in Cloudsdale with the waitress.
How would one even kiss a sink? On the faucet? She decided to skip thinking about the third step, but that left her with one stage she dreaded more than all. Marriage.
I can't get married. No pony can pin me down. I still have so much I want to do with my life. Like, join the Wonderbolts.
With a pang of depression, she realized that joining the Wonderbolts was her only aspiration in life. Still, it was something. None of the Wonderbolts were married, and marriage meant kids, and kids meant constant stress and responsibility. They were not for her.
So that settles it,
Rainbow declared as she re-entered her bedroom. Her mane now looked even wilder than usual. Her throat was sore and her eyes were bloodshot.
I'm not in love. I'm not. Nope. No way.
She laid back down on her bed and stared at the ceiling. After that, there was no way she was getting back to sleep, but she tried anyways. She closed her eyes. Almost immediately, sink entered her eyelids.
Ah! Mind, stop it. I just want to sleep.
Once again, Sink's glittering frame entered her mind's eye. He was covered in pink flower petals. Rainbow sat up, her heart racing and her wing threatening to extend at any moment. There was no avoiding it. The truth was there, right in front of her, plain as day. She didn't want to accept it, but she had to. It was now her life, her destiny, and it had to happen. She fell back onto the bed.
I love him!
Across the room, Tank gurgled.
Don't judge me, Turtle. Thanks! Come back soon!
Derpy Hooves gave Pinky a small smile and nod as she picked up her bag.
Thanks, Muffin Pony.
She trotted away.
Next! Pinky!
Rainbow yelled, bursting into the bakery. She had flown there as hard as she could.
I need to talk to you. Dashy!
Pinky cheered back, giggling.
I haven't seen you in forever. Oh, or at least it feels like forever. I've never waited for forever, so I don't really...
Okay.
Rainbow Dash landed in front of the counter where Pinky was ranting.
Listen, Pinkie Pie. I need... him.
Rainbow turned around, only to come snout to snout with Carrot Top.
I was waiting. No cutting in line.
Behind Carrot Top, a long line was forming. A few ponies were scattered around the shop, watching the scene unfold as they enjoyed their breakfast. Pinkie Pie nodded.
That's right! As cool and amazing and awesome-tastic as you are, Rainbow, you need to respect the rules of the line. And the first one is no cutsies.
Look, it'll only take a second. Pinky, I need to get into your kitchen.
Huh?
Pinky asked, her smile fading.
Why? There's, something I need to do. See, in the kitchen. So, if you'll just let me through, I'll be out of your mane.
Pinky frowned.
Sorry, Dashy, but I can't do that.
What? Why?
The pink mare rubbed the back of her head.
The cakes kinda told me that I can't let ponies that don't work here into the kitchen anymore. Sorry.
Oh, come on!
Rainbow protested.
Is this about the shelves? That was just an accident. It'll never happen again.
I'm sorry, Rainbow, but I really don't want to make the cakes upset. The twins have been super cranky, and that makes the cakes super cranky.
You saw how mad Mrs. Cake was.
Rainbow sighed bitterly.
Fine. Then, ahem! Oh, keep your mane on!
Rainbow yelled at the mare behind her. She flew out the door.
Well, I never.
Bye, Dashy!
Pinky called.
Come back soon! You never finished your cupcakes!
As soon as she was outside, she sprinted upwards to a cloud that sat just above the bakery.
Drat!
She muttered.
I can't get in by myself. Let's see. What would Daring do?
Her eyes lit up.
In book 12, they wouldn't let her into the Museum of Equestrian History because they thought she was the one trying to capture all their precious jewels. She used a disguise. That's it. I need a disguise. But what?
Oh man. Things getting too real. Like, way too real. I will continue this tomorrow morning, I promise. I'm sorry part 2 took so long. It was just a bit of a day for me. Anyways, so enjoy part 2. I'll see you for part 3 tomorrow.